What did you do growing up over here in New York?
Well, that's funny you mention it because we would hang out in the train station. So, like you get out, if you go by any school around 3 to 5, or like maybe 2 to 5, any
Oh
high
yeah.
school, the ones that let out around the time, all the kids usually hang out in the train station just to hang. You have nowhere to go. You're a young kid. It's nice outside. You just hang out in the train station with your other high school friends, especially the broke ones. You see it every day. You see it any weekday in New York. You go
No,
by the
you're
train
right. I
station.
do. I
Yeah.
see a ton of kids, like in Midtown. What's that one area like on, by Central Park? That one, I used to live by there before I moved to Brooklyn.
Nice.
Yeah, and you're right. They all do kind of just like hang out in there.
Yes. If you're talking about, are you talking about Columbus Circle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that whole area is total. It's so nice, but like the second 3 o'clock hits, it's like a wave of children just coming in. You don't know what's going on. They're loud. They're pushy. They're gonna knock you down. I kind of like it. It's fun, You see yourself like as a kid. You're like, oh, that was used to be me. I was that rude.
Oh,
Rude
yeah,
person.
yeah. Yeah, you're right that they hold on, I have to put let me I hate this when I get interruptions and I've said I'm doing my podcast. I have to like tell somebody because I put my phone on mute and sure enough I get somebody calling me.
Yep.
So yeah, I remember I've seen that. Yeah. Daniel, how long have you been doing comedy? Because I forgot. It's a long time ago, probably a
Long
year
time.
since. Like how
Over
many
like
years?
10 years. Over
Over
10.
10 years?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, it legitimately is one of the hardest endeavors I've ever like tried to overcome or try to do. And it's been super exciting too, like just meeting new people. Part of it's too, like when you're lower class, and this is for anybody. For
Yeah.
me, it helped a lot because we were immigrants and I never really assimilated to American culture at all. But the being a comedian thing has really been like, it's helped me integrate to American society way better. And I totally recommend to anybody who's like really poor, especially like just you meet so many people, you expand your network very well. More people know you, you know more people, etc. It's like like did you grow up like middle class or like how was your childhood?
Middle class. Yeah, more middle class, but I know what you're talking about. I was born in the States, but well, not really from, my dad was an immigrant, but my mother is Puerto Rican. So that's US territory. But I know exactly what you're saying because the entertainment world, you do meet a whole bunch of different type of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some of them are so like part of the fun is like you see like I've met all these kids who like went to nice schools and like they got like creative writing degrees. So you see like early on, it's really even more competitive and like kind of how the scales are a little unbalanced for you. All these kids, like some of them went on like, for example, Amy Schumer, right? She had a sorority. So early on, she instead of like doing her, like the way most comics do it is open mics, crappy shows, big shows, right? Over the years, she cut the line and went to big shows because she had a big enough network to invite to her shows and keep coming to see her. So there was she never had to really do the lower tier stuff at all. She was always at least mid tier was where she was started. But that's because of her network, her money. It helped her out. Her uncle is Chuck Schumer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Her uncle's Chuck Schumer. You know what? I didn't really care for her until I watched that series on Hulu, and I was like, this is the best I've ever seen of Amy Schumer. Like I didn't really relate to her until her new series. Before, I think something about when certain women, when they have kids, they're more relatable. Maybe that's me. By before, like her comedy, if she was on, I would change it or whatever. But
you didn't like the extreme, like kind of edgy humor she has?
It wasn't. So this is the thing, because I've been in sex work, and it's I call the people that are not in sex work squares. Okay. So yeah, I'll say it. I call them squares. So
That's great.
you know what I'm saying? And I kind of have a degenerate background. My dad was a drug dealer. He was a Cuban drug dealer. He was notorious. Like he got shot. You know what I mean? I have that Spanish background. I was a stripper for many years. So for me, it's really hard to sit there and with different women's comic, for a lot of women comics, it was really hard to relate. One comic that I was so proud I got on the show was Sarah Contreras, and she was Puerto Rican, and that was probably the first time ever when I saw her performance that I could relate to somebody because she was the same culture as my mom, Puerto Rican, and she was Latino, and her material was relatable. But before Amy Schumer had kids, and again, I've had kids since I've been 16 years old. She was not relatable. I felt like she was a person of privilege, and I didn't really have that privilege.
Oh, totally.
Right.
Totally,
And so me as an audience member, I love stand-up comedy, but it's very hard for me. It was very, very hard for me to relate with her. So after I saw that series, I was like, wow, this is actually good. It was relatable. And I think it's called Life of Beth or Beth. I forgot what it's called, that it's currently on there. Somebody's going to have to Google it, but whatever that show is, something Beth or whatever, Life in Beth, it's pretty good, but that's probably the only time I've ever liked a piece of work of Amy Schumer because of
that's so interesting.
and I'm just being real with you because I can't relate.
No, it's great.
Yeah, and even when people that like are not in like, it's very, I've through the years, like even though this is my mainstream podcast, it's been very hard for me to relate to certain people. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So because people that are in sex work don't date like we actually don't date like squares in a way. People that have been in it for as long as I have.
Yeah.
I've been
You're dating.
Yeah, I've been in the game since I was 18 years old. When I can announce my actual age, but my birthday.
I thought it was 25.
No, thank you. But for, you know what I'm saying? So for humor, when we go to somebody you want to relate, and what's really, really hard, I've noticed, like I'm trying to represent a lot of Latino comics. We only understand each other, but then sometimes I'm not a comic, but a lot of Latino comics I relate to with their comedy, but I've seen like in the audience where people are like, huh? You know what I mean? The gringos are like in the audience going,
Yeah. I don't get this. I don't get this.
But the other Latinos, right. Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to do something different with my podcast and showcasing because we all kind of relate with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's hard.
More than yes.
Yeah.
It's like
we need more. We need more writers. Even though there's a Writers Guild strike right now as I speak, more Latino writers. We need like Latino agents, managers. We need everybody behind the scenes too, not just comics or actors. We need
also we're like 40% of the population, or
right. Well, we need to take over. Yeah, we need to. We need to take over. Yeah. So there needs to be. And I think John Leguizamo, he preaches that a lot. He's a fellow Colombian like you, right? He preaches that a lot.
Yeah, he definitely likes the working together. We also need to like work together. I think that's the hardest part too. Something I like. Yeah. Right. Other cultures don't work as unified. We work kind of scattered.